And welcome back to our NBA best bets and predictions here for May 14th. Now, if you want to skip ahead, I'm gonna take a little bit of a victory lap. I got to, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a little bit of a victory lap. I've been calling for this since like January, February that the Pacers were gonna get past the Cleveland Cavaliers. So excuse my victory lap. If you want to go straight to the picks, fast forward like 2 minutes, okay? Maybe 3. All right. The Pacers eliminate the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games. Now, guys, who told you this? Again, I said it early in the regular season, but just what did I say at the beginning of the series? I don't know. I don't know what I said. Hold on. And I've been adamant on the fact the Indiana Pacers are going to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm very excited for this. Guys, this is a money glitch for the 7-game series. I'm not telling you the Pacers are going to win every single game in this series, but today's the day I think they get this series off to the right foot. Money glitch. What did I say? Money glitch. And honestly, that's what that series was. Let's just be honest, guys. Shout out to the Cavs. They played their game. Donovan Mitchell is one of the best whistles in the NBA. The Pacers couldn't play physical at all. So just wait until they're actually allowed to play physical basketball. Just you wait. And no, we're not done riding the Pacers train, by the way. Wait a second for that. But exactly what I said was going to happen in the series. The Pacers were going to expose this team. Indiana has been here for the postseason. And guys, we won Indiana versus Ohio round 2. We did it. I will see you in September or probably November for Indiana versus Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. And Fernando Mendoza and Curt Cignetti are bringing home the Big Ten championship back to Bloomington for the Indiana Hoosiers, okay? We're not done. We're not done. Indiana's getting it back for Ohio, or we're getting it back against Ohio for what they did in Columbus earlier this year, last year. But, I mean, what can I say about Indiana? I think this team's winning the NBA Finals now. I've always thought, OKC's probably going to do it. Now I'm leaning towards Indiana, and here's why. I don't think anybody can keep up. Guys, Minnesota, with all due respect, OKC's going to beat Minnesota. And the Knicks, great team. I think Indiana's going to beat New York. Indiana's much better than they were last year. I get it. New York had injuries. I just don't think the Knicks are going to be able to keep up. Guys, the Pacers are kind of just, no disrespect to the Celtics. They're a better version of the Celtics right now. Something I didn't think I was ever going to say, but they hit their shots. They hit their 3-pointers. Something that Boston really hasn't done all series long. And we've said it before, right? Boston played one of their worst games in game 1. They played horribly, historically bad in games 1 and 2. And New York just barely beat them twice and had to come back. What happens when Indiana hits their shots all game long? And then OKC, who I love. I'm a big Shea guy, right? Shea, Tyrese, 2 of my favorite players in the NBA, right? Once the Pacers double Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't think J-Dub, who again, great player, but J-Dub, Keeson Wallace, Lou Dort, Chet, those guys will not consistently hit enough shots to outpace the Pacers. So I think Indiana outruns that team, and I think the Pacers outscore them and probably beat the Thunder in the NBA championship. So that's all I'm saying in the NBA Finals. That's all I'm saying is I think that's going to happen, right? OKC, love the team. Shea's the best player in the world. They need a true number 2. J-Dub will be that in like 3 years. They need Kevin Durant. I know he's old, but for 2 years, Durant can be that bridge until J-Dub is officially ready to be the number 2. Then they're getting really scary. They're still scary now, but they will be even scarier eventually, and I think very shortly after. Anyways, let's now get into the first of our 2 best bets. First, folks, MLB best bets, linked in the description down below. UFC Fight Night, Burns versus Morales predictions on Greedo Plays MMA, link in the description down below. Okay, first game of the day, Knicks Celtics. Guys, I think the Celtics are ready to go home. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I don't know why the odds are like this. But honestly, I questioned the odds all series long between Indiana and Cleveland, just as of yesterday, before that game. I mean, Indiana was they were getting 8 points in the road. They were plus, 280? They were still only minus 200 to win the series. I haven't gotten the odds all postseason long. Whoops. And I still don't get them here. Why is New York such a big underdog? This game should be even, guys. New York has won both games in Boston already, and now Jason Tatum's out. It is horrible what happened to Jason Tatum. We're likely not going to see Jason Tatum play basketball until 2027. You can maybe say, if the Celtics make a deep playoff push next year, potentially. Guys, I hate to break it to you, the Celtics will not be good next year. They're going to be a 6th seed at best, I think. I think they'll probably avoid the play-in. I'm trying not to get too carried away here, guys. I legitimately think the Pacers are probably going to go back-to-back in the Eastern Conference. I don't know. I think they're going to win it again next year. Just looking at, okay. Cleveland, they're not going to show up in the playoffs. Knicks, good team, right? They'll be there. Boston's going to be nothing next year. And then who else scares you in the East? All the stars are going west. Giannis is going west, right? Cooper Flag's going west. There's a chance Trae Young goes west. I know the Hawks aren't serious contenders. Are the Bulls going to put together a third star on that lineup? Probably not. Everyone wants to go out west. So I legitimately think Indiana's going to be the favorites next year to win the Eastern Conference. Regardless, I don't know why the Celtics are minus 175. Guys, this team I think they're ready to go home. Now, this game could go one of two ways, right? It could go the way of, all right, Boston, they don't want to go home yet. They are playing for Tatum. They're at home. They try to, boost themselves with the home crowd. I understand that, guys. The Knicks were going to beat Boston even with the Tatum injury. Without the Tatum injury, excuse me. Jaylen Brown threw that ball away, ultimately resulted in the unfortunate injury, but Adenubi steals the ball and obviously dunks it back on the fast break on the other side. That was going to put New York, and it did put New York up 9 with, 2.5 minutes to go? The game was over, right? And it sucks. Again, that's when the injury happened, and maybe, again, Tatum goes to the sidelines, and that never happens after if Tatum doesn't dive for the ball or whatnot, right? That's just basketball, unfortunately. It's just how it is. Damian Lillard's hurt, right? KD got hurt back in 2019 in the finals with this. Again, it just is what it is. It's a ruptured Achilles. It sucks. But the Knicks were going to be up 3-1 even with Tatum still playing. And I think ultimately, the Knicks were still going to win the series, right? I thought after the first 2 games of the series, I thought the Knicks were going to win. And it's hard to come back from down 2-0, especially when you're the team now going on the road. I think there's a chance the Pacers are going to be up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals over the Knicks. I'm just saying, I think the Pacers are going to beat that team. But anyways, in this one spot, we're all over New York. We are. Okay, what are the Celtics going to be without Tatum? And who's now going to take all their shots? Tatum played a great game for it. The Celtics wouldn't have been in that game if it was not for Jason Tatum, right? We mock Tatum all the time, obviously. We kind of make fun of the guy. I've never denied his talent. We have mocked him for being a cornball and whatnot, but we know how good of a talent Jason Tatum is. And I've said it. I think Jason Tatum's a top 10 player in the sport. He is, right? You can't deny the guy. In game 4, 16 for 28 from the field, 7 for 16 from the three-point line, 42 points. Great game out of Jason Tatum. Literally the definition of leaving it all on the court. But where does their production come now outside of Jason Tatum? Derek White, guys, is a great, I didn't even want to call him a second option, great third option to hit three-pointers. That's awesome. 6 for 11 in game 4 from the three-point line. But now what happens when Derek White's your number 2 option? Jaylen Brown's, it's go time for Jaylen Brown. I know he stepped up last year in the NBA Finals, but there is no Jason Tatum anymore. There is no defensive attention towards Tatum. It's all you now. That's difficult, right? Kristaps Porzingis is not 100%. He's still coming off the bench. Peyton Pritchard will give them a spark. I understand that. He's a better Ty Jerome. But that's not going to be enough to beat the Knicks. It's just not. I do worry about how New York's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Eventually, the big minutes that those guys play in every single game, it's going to catch up to them. It will. And I don't know when that's going to be, and I have a feeling that's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll get to that again. I don't even know when the Eastern Conference Finals starts. I know, again, Game 3 is in Indy at the same time as the Indy 500, but I don't know when Game 1 is. But regardless, I think that's going to catch up to them eventually, and that's going to catch up to them in a series where they're going to have to run all the time and run against a team that actually hits their threes, unlike the Celtics. But tonight, yes, we're taking the New York Knicks. I'm 100% taking the Knicks to win this basketball game. I think the Celtics are deflated. I know they're back at home, but guys, New York has won both the home games already. And I'd argue Tyrese Halliburton's been the best player in the postseason, with the exception of Jalen Brunson. And I like how WWE had the script, right? WWE did a whole face-off with Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton earlier in the year, right? After, obviously, their matchup in the second round last year in the playoffs. They had, Tyrese Halliburton was with Logan Paul, and Jalen Brunson was with LA Knight on SmackDown once. It's probably happening. I'd be very surprised if it didn't. We talked about Mitchell Robinson being unplayable going into Game 4. Well, he was very good in Game 4, right? He did what he needed to do. Mitchell Robinson's out there for his defense. The Celtics didn't hack him, and he did a great job, I thought, right? And the starters, honestly, I can't complain about the Knicks Game 4. I think the one maybe critique I can have is Mikal Bridges. At times, I felt like he missed a lot of big threes, but at the same time, Bridges makes up for it with his defensive work and with his mid-range shot. So yeah, okay, we can look at the box score and say, oh, McCall went 1 for 6 from the 3-point line, but what he does in spots is great for this New York team. And obviously, again, Jalen Brunson is just that guy. 39 points at home at the Garden. He's electric, man. That team is electric when they're playing in front of that crowd. They just are, right? It's, guys, MSG with the celebrities is everything Staples should be, but it's not, right? The fans that get to Staples, and honestly the Chase Center too, right? The rich celebrities, or the rich people just in general, those rich people actually, cheer for their team in New York. They don't cheer for the teams in San Francisco and Los Angeles. They just don't. I'm just going to be honest. Ultimately, though, I'm going New York Knicks money line. I think the Celtics are done. I think they're eliminated. Again, I just question Jaylen Brown's your number one option now. Okay. Derek White's not just a shooter, because now, okay, Derek White probably has to create for his own shot more, and now there's more of a defensive focus around Derek White. Guys, Drew Holiday is a great defender, right? Team USA player. He's not going to hurt you offensively. Al Horford, he'll hit a three-pointer every once in a while. You're not concerned about Al Horford. So, by the way, who is the fifth starter? It's probably Pritchard, right? Unless they go Porzingis, which they can, and they're just really big. But, I mean, at what percent is Porzingis, and then is he a liability? They're just in a bad spot, man. The Celtics are just in a bad spot, and I fully expect the New York Knicks to put them out their misery tonight. New York wins, and I think we get great value for it. Plus 150 for the New York Knicks on the road at the Boston Garden. And give me Knicks Pacers round 2 in just a couple days. I'm so pumped for that. But give me the Knicks, and let's do it. Knicks Pacers. Final game of the day. Again, like I said with the Celtics, the Knicks put them out their misery. Let's just be honest, guys. The Warriors are... Actually, no, I can't say the Warriors are ready to go home. I can't. Because they actually have something to play for, right? If they can pull off the heist of the century tonight and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves back in Minnesota, there is going to be life for Golden State. I will tell you this. I don't care what condition Steph Curry's in. I think the Warriors will win Game 6 regardless of what condition Curry's in. As long as he's playing and... as long as he, again, suits up and puts the shoes on and plays, they will win Game 6. It's just, I don't know. I get these feelings about the Warriors sometimes, and we predicted it bang on the button, by the way, in the first round against the Rockets. Again, I'm trying not to pat myself on the back too much here, but we said, all right, Game 5 Rockets, they're going to find a way. Game 6 Rockets, they'll win again in Golden State, just to lose it at home in Game 7. And what happened? That exactly happened. Watching the Warriors enough, I'm from the Bay Area. I watch the Warriors all the time, right? I grew up hating the Golden State Warriors, and I still do. I was there for the beginning of the Steph Curry era. I watched them when Monte Ellis was still their guy, and when that used to be just an easy victory for Kobe and the Lakers, and it quickly turned into, oh God, these guys shoot 1,000,000 threes a game, and we can't hold them. Knowing the Warriors, I kind of know how they work. I feel like this could just sound really stupid, but I think just momentum-wise and how Draymond is and how that team is, they're going to find a way to win Game 6 if Curry's back. Game 7's a whole other thing. I don't think they can go to Minnesota and beat them, I'm going to be honest, in Game 7, but I think they will force it if they can win tonight. That being said, I don't think they're going to. I said this a couple days ago. I said I don't think Curry's playing another game this year because I think they're going to lose in 5. And again, I've made this point a million times as well, like what condition is Steph Curry going to be in and how much is Curry going to be able to really help Golden State? And I don't really think he's going to, but again, I just think it's a whole momentum thing. All right, we get our MVP back. He will be an option for us in Game 6. And if he's just a corner shooter, it is what it is, but we'll put him on a corner guy defensively. We can put him on a, Dante DiVincenzo, it's not the best example, but we can put him on a, guy just sits in the corner, obviously. DiVincenzo at times, right? And we can just kind of leave him there. Like what the Thunder do with Chet, obviously, against Christian Braun. I don't think the Warriors can win tonight, though. I don't think they can. I don't see how they're going to win without Steph. The season has just felt lost since game number 2. Let's just be honest, right? When game 2 happened and Steph got hurt, we all kind of thought, all right, that's kind of it for them. And they got the good news that Steph's not out for the entire year, but now you got to push it to get back there. I mean, you heard the whole Ant conversation with Gary Payton, right? Ant says, oh, I know what y'all trying to do. You just got to win one game and you get Steph back. And Gary Payton's like, well, yeah, no shit, dude. Yeah, I mean, we know where we're at. We can't beat this team, shorthanded 3 more times. We need to get one, though, so we can get Curry back. Anthony Edwards decided in the third quarter in Game 4 that he wasn't losing. He decided that, all right, I'm not losing this game. 6 for 11 from the 3-point line, 30 points. But again, it was that third quarter that the Timberwolves just completely took over the game and it was over, right? Ant was hitting his shots. DiVincenzo comes off the bench, sinks a couple threes, right? Mike Conley hit a three, if I'm not mistaken, in that big third quarter run as well to get out of the halftime locker rooms. The Timberwolves said, okay, we're not losing this one. And just where do you generate offense if you're Golden State? Where do you generate it? I think the move has to be made. Kuminga just has to start. I don't know why they're still bothering with Trace Jackson-Davis. Just play Draymond at the 5, like the come bucket, play the 4. It is what it is. But where do they find, an offensive presence? I don't know, right? Guys, Jimmy took 9 shots in Game 4. You're supposed to be this team's best player. You're here because, you rise in the playoffs. You're playoff Jimmy. You're supposed to be Steph's second star. And you take 9 shots when Steph's not even on the court. And it's not like he went 0 for 9. He went 5 for 9. He had 14 points. What? Why? I still don't get that. We called the Buddy Hield regression pretty easily. I mean, those games Game 1 against the Wolves and Game 7 against the Rockets, those were fake games, and we knew they were. Again, that's just what happens with the Warriors, voodoo magic. They find ways to get big games out of Buddy Hield. Good for them. But we knew the regression was coming from Buddy Hield, and we knew that was something that the Warriors can count on. Just like how they can't count on the Draymond Green three-pointer, right? There's so many variables with the Warriors that they can't, that they need everything, honestly, at this point without Curry to go their way. And I'd say another thing that I think would really help them, especially in an elimination game, is them being in San Francisco. I get it. Chase Center is no Oracle, right? Oracle was hell to go into as an opposing team, right? It was a war zone in Oakland. Chase Center's nowhere near that, but you'd much rather be at home than going on the road to Minnesota with your season on the line, where the Timberwolves fans know, all right, we are 1 game away from going to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Their road has been, somewhat difficult, right? Lakers, Warriors, and now they're probably going to get the OKC Thunder in the next round. We'll see Thunder Nuggets Game 7 tomorrow. Game 6 in Denver. I think we'll see. I've got a feeling about that game. But I expect Minnesota to roll Golden State tonight. I think this is going to be an uncompetitive one. I'll be honest, I've fallen into the trap multiple times of taking huge spreads with OKC this postseason. I just have, because I have that much confidence in that team. But what I said at the beginning of the video is still true, by the way, with Oklahoma City. I think they're going to get past Minnesota, and I think they'll beat the Knicks. I think they will. If they get Indiana, I think they're losing. The Pacers are playing much better defense right now. You double Shea, and you force J-Dub, and you force Lou Dort to beat you, and Chet as well. I don't think they can do that 4 times. Shea's going to be Shea, and he's going to rise in the fourth quarter like he did yesterday. Obviously, hit the dagger at some big shots, obviously, to propel the Thunder to victory. But they don't face a team that can score and push the ball even better than they can in the Pacers. They just haven't seen that yet. I don't know. I think that's going to be the case, guys. I legitimately think the Pacers are winning the NBA Finals. If some of the Pacers don't beat the Knicks, though, I think the Thunder will still take it, though, right? And likeliness of winning the chip at this point, I got Pacers. I legitimately have Pacers 1, Thunder 2, Knicks, Timberwolves. I don't see a world where Minnesota gets there. Minnesota just isn't consistent enough from the three-point line. They look great in Game 4, but how many times is that going to repeat itself? And for the Warriors, they just struggle too much. They just struggle to find offense. I'll give them this. Their defense has been great all postseason long, right? I thought that was, maybe that's just a Rockets thing. The Rockets, are just And then I thought, okay, I look at Game 1 with the Wolves, and even Game 2, and I'm like, or Game 3, I'm like, all right, Minnesota's struggling, but then, they struggled in Game 5 against the Lakers, but I will give the Warriors defense all the credit in the world. They played great defensive ball. But at some point, you got to hit your shots at the same time. And can we talk about Brandon Podziemski? The Pythagorean theorem has been non-existent this entire postseason. Let's just be honest. He was pretty non-existent in the Houston series. He had some games, sure. But Game 4, again, Podziemski, you don't want to go down 3-1. Podziemski, 33 minutes, 3 for 14 from the field, 0 for 4 from the three-point line, 11 points for the former Santa Clara Bronco. I'm just going to be honest, that's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable for a guy who's going to play 33 minutes and who's going to start for this team. Jonathan Kuminga, by the way, guys, is going to get himself paid. He's just going to, right? Kuminga was a guy who got worked out of this rotation. He was on the Steve Kerr, banned list. He was in the doghouse. And because of the Curry injury, they've needed some help. They've needed some insurance. They needed a spark, and Kuminga gave that to them. Good for the cum bucket. Great for the cum bucket. But again, where do they find their consistency scoring? They just don't. I'm going to be honest. And the way Ant's been playing, the way Julius Randle has kind of stepped up, Gobert's a whole another thing. He'll have his nights, but it's just, I don't think they're able to outscore this basketball team. I don't think they're able to, and I firmly believe Minnesota just blows them out the water tonight. And I think the Timberwolves win, and I think they cover the spread as well, -11, -10.5 on some books. But guys, by far the best play today is not this. It is 100% with our opening game from the Boston Garden. Take advantage of Knicks money line while you can. They are underdogs without Jason Tatum on the court in an arena in this series where they've already won back-to-back games. I'll be damned if the Knicks don't win tonight. If they don't, Game 6 feels like easy money, I'm not going to lie. But we're taking Knicks money line. We're taking Timberwolves spread and money line if you want to play -550. So give me Timberwolves to move on to the Western Conference Finals and take on the winner of the Thunder and the Nuggets. And we have the New York Knicks joining the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's a rematch of, 03, the 03 Eastern Conference Finals. And it's a rematch of the Eastern Conference Semifinals last year in 2024. So folks, thank you all for watching our NBA predictions and best bets. If you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA best bets and with our MLB best bets as well. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.